You wake in the cold with no idea that the universe could be any different. You are no more than a jelly-like speck drifting in a cloud of plankton high above the place that will become your world. The water is dim blue here, the last fingers of sunlight reaching down from the surface. You have 8 tiny arms, a transparent body, and a brain smaller than a grain of sand. Yet every cell of you already belongs to the deep. You pulse your mantle and drift, feeding on smaller specks, learning without knowing how currents feel and how the faintest shadow can mean teeth. You are a little older now, a few weeks perhaps, and gravity seems to pull you downward in slow persuasion. The blue darkens to purple, then to ink. The pressure grows heavier on your soft body like an invisible fist. Your eyes adapt, nerves tuning themselves to the barest hints of light. Above, the world of waves and shining sky vanishes forever. Below waits the true night. You do not decide to go down. You simply sink, following the fading scent of food and the tug of instincts written long before you existed. You cross a border that no ray of sunlight can cross. Here the water is near freezing, the darkness complete except for scattered sparks. Lanternfish drift past with glowing lures dangling from their faces. Jellies pulse with eerie blues and greens. Tiny crustaceans flash like underwater lightning when something brushes them. Your own skin begins to darken, pigment cells growing richer, your body becoming sturdier though it will never know a bone. You learn to move by jetting, sucking water into your mantle and blasting it out so that you shoot backward. Your arms stretch longer and stronger, each lined with suckers that can taste and feel at the same time. You are a juvenile now, not yet large but no longer helpless. You slip through a maze of basalt pillars on the flank of an undersea mountain. These rocks are dusted with a slow snowfall of organic debris drifting down from the sunlit world above. You hunt small shrimp and soft-bodied worms, ambushing them by blending into the rock with quick changes in your skin. Even in the deep, your chromatophores still work, shifting you from mottled gray to inky black. Hunting is never relaxed. In the dark behind you a larger fish might be gliding silently, nose full of your scent, waiting for you to make one mistake. You are 1 year old now, and the pressure that would crush a metal sphere built by humans feels like nothing to your flexible body. The seafloor below you is broken by a line of hydrothermal vents that roar like chimneys. Superheated water rich with minerals jets out from cracks in the crust, rising in shimmering plumes. Around them, life gathers in unlikely abundance: ghostly white crabs, blind shrimp, tube worms the color of dried blood. You move carefully through this alien city, feeling the chemical warmth with the sensitive skin of your arms, knowing that one wrong move could boil you alive. You steal what you can, plucking weakened prey from the edges of the vents, always staying just far enough away. Predators map this place in their memories as well as you do. A 6-gilled shark patrols the edge of your hunting ground, its bulky shape almost invisible in the darkness. Once it charges you, jaws gaping, you respond the only way you can. Your body explodes into action, mantle pumping, arms streaming behind you. You throw out a cloud of ink that spreads through the water in a blacker darkness, thick with chemicals that confuse smell as well as sight. You jet upward and sideways at the same time, leaving a ghost of yourself made of ink. The shark slams through the cloud and keeps going. Your heart races as copper-rich blood drives through your veins. For tonight at least, you are not the one who vanishes. Years pass without sunrise. You never see the color green. You never hear the crash of waves or feel the touch of air. Your world is gradients of night, textures of rock and silt, tastes of iron and sulfur. Yet within this narrow band of deep sea you become something formidable. You are large now, arms stretching longer than a human adult, body dense with muscle and nerves. Your brain is vast for a creature without bones, a pulsing knot of curiosity and memory between your eyes. You remember which canyon hides easy prey, Which ridgeline smells of shark? Which vent field still roars with warm water and which has gone cold and dead? You are alone by nature, greeting other octopuses rarely and at a distance. You are 5 years old now, nearing the endgame your body has planned since the first cells divided. The deep sea is not generous. Food is sometimes plentiful, sometimes absent for weeks. Your arms bear scars, crescents where teeth or claws once tested your flesh and failed. You have learned to open clams sealed like vaults, to pry armored crabs from their burrows, to wait motionless against a rock until a careless fish glides within reach of your strike. With every success your body adds protein to coils of muscle, but your time does not stretch the way your arms do. In your kind, adulthood is a brief peak before a steep drop. One cold season, the chemical flavors in the water change in a way your conscious mind cannot explain. Hormones flood your body. You feel a restless pull not toward food but toward a particular configuration of rocks and currents. You travel farther than you ever have, leaving behind familiar ridges to glide along a plain of fine mud where each sucker leaves a temporary print. There, among twisted stones and the shimmer of a distant vent field, you meet another of your kind. For a moment the deep sea contains something almost like company. You circle one another, arms tasting, skin flushing patterns of dark and pale that speak in a language older than sound. You accept the smaller male, and within your mantle cavity you carry away his packets of life. You are heavy with thousands of fertilized eggs now, each no bigger than a grain of rice but together as demanding as any storm. You search for the right overhang, a cave in the rock where currents flow just enough to bring oxygen but not enough to tear your future loose. You lay your eggs in shimmering strains and attach them to the ceiling like fragile glass grapes. Then you become a creature built for one task. You clean them constantly, stroking them with your suckers to remove fungus and debris. You pulse water over them in a careful rhythm, your mantle muscles working tirelessly to keep them supplied with cold, oxygenated seawater. You do not hunt anymore. You barely leave the cave. Every scrap of stored energy you have goes into guarding and tending those silent beads of life. You are 7 years old now, though you have no word for age. Your body wastes away as your eggs swell with developing embryos, their tiny arms and mantles curling inside translucent shells. Outside, the deep sea continues its indifferent routines. Sharks pass, drawn briefly by your scent but driven off by your sudden, desperate lunges. Crabs wander near the cave mouth and lose claws for their curiosity. You grow blind patches in your eyes, lesions on your skin, tremors in your arms. Your brain, once a bright knot of problem-solving power, is slowly rewired by hormones into a single obsessive loop that repeats the same commands: clean, fan, protect. At last the eggs begin to hatch, one by one. Then in showers, miniature versions of you wriggle free and drift into the dark water. They are transparent, soft, helpless, each with 8 little arms and a mind the size of a sand grain that already belongs to the deep. You release your grip and sink to the cave floor, too weak to move, vision reduced to flickers. Around you, your offspring scatter into the surrounding night, instantly at the mercy of currents, predators, and chance. Most of them will die within hours or days, snapped up by fish or jellies or simply starved. A few will ride a lucky eddy upward, feed, grow, and one day feel the same slow pull downward that claimed you. You lie there in the cold and pressure, skin slack, arms spread like discarded ropes. There is no dramatic soundtrack in the deep sea, no audience to applaud your sacrifice or mourn your passing. Your body becomes food, first for scavenging crabs and worms, then for bacteria that will turn you into part of the drifting marine snow you have eaten all your life. The cave mouth already looks empty again from a short distance away. The vents keep roaring, the sharks keep circling. This is the shape of your life as a deep-sea octopus, clever, sensitive, and intensely devoted, yet given only one chance to pass on your existence before your own mind dissolves into caretaking and then into nothing. You spend your whole life in a darkness that never lifts, hunted from above and below, built to survive pressures that would crush metal yet undone by the quiet chemistry inside your own body. Life as a deep-sea octopus is powerful and strange, but in its own cold way it is also brutally unfair.